Oh my God. This Pluto and Mars opposition has been absolutely dramified. It's like the planet of like anger and war and aggression in the sign of Leo, which is all the drama queen of the zodiac, and that is like passionate, and things from like childhood is coming up to be looked at, transformed, and healed, with Pluto staring at it in the sign of Capricorn. Pluto, the sign of transformation and death and rebirth. It's power plays and struggles. So we have like this opposition and this tug of war happening between these extremely powerful, malefic planets. And it's not easy to be maneuvering around this crucial degrees of 0 degrees of Leo and the anaretic degree of 29 degrees of Capricorn. It has been absolutely nuts since like the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. Oh, it got really intense on the 6th and the 7th. So it was like the lead up, the switch. There is some transformation happening on November 19th when Pluto enters into the sign of Aquarius, where it will be until 2044. This is transforming all fixed signs. So the fixed sign is Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, and Taurus. Now the cardinal signs are being affected by this too, because Capricorn is a cardinal sign, and Cancer and Aries and Libra have all been the focus since, and transforming this area of the sky since 2008. Okay, so it's been a long time. Pluto in Capricorn has been triggering all the cardinal signs, and this has been going on for a long time. And this is about structural change, especially in areas like career, self, partnership, and home. These are the foundations, the cardinal cross of these cardinal energies. And now it's switching to the fixed signs. So Uranus in Taurus seeks innovation and breaking free from the old patterns, especially concerning money, values, and possessions. And this full moon in Taurus is going to be conjunct Uranus. And that moon's emotional energy in Taurus adds to a layer of attachment for this security and comfort. Now, also, this energy is asking us to break free from old patterns. So we may find that we're able to release our fears and our limiting beliefs related to security, whether that's financial, emotional, relational, and begin to process the process of rebuilding with greater authenticity and control. Power, growth in career, long-term goals. You might find a new way to assert your authority or control over your own life and work. Now, this deep emotional healing and growth is taking place with that full moon, and a lot of things are shifting and changing. So with this Pluto and Mars opposition, this brings this forth, this power struggle dynamic. And these are intense drives for transformation. And it's determined to strip down what no longer serves us. So very much like this full moon, we're experiencing all this right after this full moon. So it's kind of like this overhaul of outdated structures, self-limiting beliefs, like everything, right? And there is a potential for power struggles, and we saw that this last week. It was ridiculous, the amount of emotions that have been stirring up. Now, Mars assertiveness clashes with Pluto's transformational intensities, which can provoke arguments or power struggles, especially if anyone feels threatened or undermined. So be careful of handling emotions and power carefully. Try not to let anger and frustration dominate. Instead, approach difficult situations strategically, using the transformational energy to empower rather than dominate. So there is a lot of healing and release at this time. It's a moment of a closing of a chapter. And you may need to release control in certain aspects of your life, especially where Capricorn themes of tradition or authority. So yeah, this is deep healing, liberation from limiting beliefs and structures that no longer serve. So during this cycle, I just recommend that you stay grounded. You reflect on your goals, like what it is, your values, what you want, and how are you going to attain those goals, and embrace change, because this is an opportunity of growth. And there's just so much transformations happening in the month of November, from the new moon in Scorpio, transformational, to this Pluto-Mars opposition, transformational. A full moon on Uranus is also transformational, but with this unexpected shifts and twists and turns of fate. And then Pluto moving into Aquarius. And this is just, it's going to be interesting, because we also have Pluto move into Aquarius. Venus is going to meet with Pluto and the moon. So the moon's going to meet up with Pluto and Virgo. Pluto and Venus on December 4th. And then Venus and Pluto will be exactly conjunct at 0 degrees on December 6th. So we're going to see some huge transformations within our value systems as well as our relationships. So buckle up, Buttercup, because that's going to be an intense one, because Mars is opposing that Venus and Pluto opposition. And it's asking us to have a redo from this last week, from November 6th, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. It's asking us, hey, look, what have you learned since that? How have you transformed? What self-reflection have you been doing? What are your values? And it's giving you an opportunity to redeem yourself. It's kind of like an apology letter, okay? But for energy. We have the moon also going to conjunct Saturn in Pisces that same day. And it's going to be like squaring over to the sun and Mercury conjunct in Sagittarius, and then squaring over to Jupiter, because Jupiter is opposing the sun and Mercury, which gives this a very interesting, because Jupiter is the planet of expansion. And in Gemini, it's expanding this information. We can be getting a lot of information coming in, a lot of new information, and it's getting us busy too. Like we're gathering information, we're getting information, we're receiving, we're outputting information. So there's just a lot going on there. And opposing the sun is giving this like optimism around this, with the Mercury being retrograde too, because the Mercury is going retrograde on November 25th. So it will be retrograde, opposing Jupiter. So this Jupiter right here is opposed the sun and Mercury. Okay, Mercury is retrograde. This is on December 7th. You see this right here? This is Venus and Pluto. Pluto just moved into Aquarius at 0 degrees, and Venus came to meet up with it. Now, about this Jupiter and Gemini opposing the sun and Mercury retrograde, we might be experiencing an intellectual tug of war between expansive curiosity and grounded truth. This alignment brings a mix of optimism, overthinking, communication challenges, and the potential for inner growth. Here's the breakdown. So we have this dual perspective and expansive thinking. So with Jupiter in Gemini, like I said, it's exploring multiple viewpoints and it's expanding knowledge, and it encourages learning from diverse sources. It's associated with growth, but in Gemini, it may be scattered, and it could be just thinking too much variety, or you're just taking in too much at once. And then the Sun in Sagittarius pulls you towards this big picture thinking, because Gemini is small and the Sagittarius is the big picture. It's flying above the forest than being in the trees. So, and this seeks truth and aligning with your personal beliefs and values. So Sagittarius thrives on vision and purpose, contrasting with this Gemini versatility. Together, this opposition may create a feeling of being pulled between wanting to explore every idea and staying committed to your beliefs. You may experience shifts in perspective or feel pressure to balance curiosity with conviction. So the Mercury retrograde influence on communication it makes it kind of more challenging, right? Because it's closer to Earth. It's communication is very difficult and hard. We're not seeing things clearly, and it can create misunderstandings or difficulty expressing your thoughts clearly. So it's a good time to reflect rather than rush into conclusions or make decisions or big purchases. Mercury rules Gemini, and this retrograde emphasizes reviewing and reassessing what you believe to be true. You may need to rethink or revisit past conversation, ideas, philosophies to gain clarity on these deeper truths. So it is about balancing logic and faith, because Sagittarius is a faith. It's a spiritual house or a spiritual sign. Gemini Jupiter may focus on ideas and data, while Sagittarius, especially with Mercury retrograde, is more interested in connecting to wisdom and larger meanings. And this setup can make you question, do the facts align with your beliefs? So try to be open to adjusting your perspective as you uncover new information. This could be a period of examining your personal philosophies and questioning whether they align with your intellectual or factual understanding. Restlessness and mental chatter, okay? That definitely could happen, where it's more of an anxious anxiety type of, but your mind is kind of tired. So it's like, oh God, you're just feeling like maybe that overcommitment or overstimulated. So like tips for this specific opposition is reflect before responding, seek balance between understanding, and don't just let it pull you off course from your core values and truths. And then explore inner beliefs. So like consider journaling during this time, meditating, allowing room for growth and change. And this transit encourages us to explore both knowledge and our inner wisdom. And so Mercury retrograde, you're going to want to look at what house it's in. So like for this particular chart, it's in the 5th house. So there could just be a lot of rethinking on maybe projects, maybe creative projects have been paused for some reason. Maybe you had ordered some parts and they just haven't come in yet. Or this could also be rethinking and reassessing your love life, or maybe your children, something like that. Maybe you're having a hard time like connecting with your children. So you just want to look at where the Mercury retrograde is for you. But with this energy, it's affecting mutable signs, especially if it's around 11 degrees. Let me look at where it's going to be backing into. So it's 22 degrees of Sagittarius, and it's going to go direct at 6 degrees of Sagittarius. And I'll do its own video, most likely, of the Mercury retrograde. But I just wanted to kind of let you guys know more about this Pluto-Mars opposition, because it is important, as Pluto is in transformation, to moving completely different zodiacs. So it's like a totally different energy. It's an air fixed energy, and it's coming from an earth cardinal energy. So yeah, if you would like to drop a comment below and just let me know what house it is for you, so maybe we can spark up some conversation in the comment section. But I just wanted to thank you guys for stopping by my channel. And if you liked the video, please press like. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to my channel. If you are interested in your own transit reading, I could talk a little bit about the Pluto and Mars opposition, or Pluto in your chart coming for the next 20 years. We could take a look at that. If you have never had a natal birth chart reading, you might want to go over to my my website. You're on my YouTube. My website at www.lucidlivingmovement.com. And I will see you guys on the next video.